Rearranging equations. To begin, we're going to look at this equation and we are going to make t the subject. If you struggle with rearranging equations, I would advise that you practice solving equations first. Now, if we were asked to solve, let's say we've got 44 equals 3t plus 11 as an example. So we're now doing this in terms of a number and how we solve this equation. Now, some people do this by number machines, so you consider what has happened to your t. T has been first multiplied by 3 and then you add 11 and you get an answer of 44. So to work backwards to solve, you're doing the opposite. So we take away 11 and then we divide by 3 to find our value of t. So 44 minus 11 is 33. Divide that by 3 and we get a value of t to be 11. Now the reason I link this to solving is because the process of rearranging involves these steps, being able to work backwards. So consider what's happened to your t. The t is being multiplied by 3 and then you are adding 11. So it's a bit like pass the parcel. You want to try and get rid of these outer layers to be able to get to the t. So to get rid of the positive 11, we subtract 11. Whatever you are doing to one side of your equation, you must be doing to the whole equation, both sides of your equals. So plus 11 minus 11 cancels the 11 out from the right hand side. Then that leaves us with, we just say what we see, w minus 11. Next, this is 3 times by t. So 3 divided by 3 is leaving us with 1t. Just t on its own. Whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And we say what we see. W minus 11 divided by 3. And that is our final answer. Let's do another example. Y equals t over 3 minus 2a. And again, we are trying to make t the subject. Consider what's happening to our t, because that's what we want to get to. We are dividing it by 3 and then taking away the 2a. So we want to get rid of these outer circles before we can reach our t. And we do that by doing the opposite. Opposite of minus 2a is plus 2a. Say what you see. Y plus 2a equals t over 3. If t is being divided by 3, the opposite of that is multiplying by 3. So that's 3 multiplied by y plus 2a. So you could either say 3y plus 6a or you can leave it in brackets. And that's your final answer. Now sometimes rearranging can be quite difficult and be worth 4 marks. Higher paper only. And when this happens, we are looking at 2 of the letter in the equation. So let's look at an example. In this equation, we want to make x the subject. What you'll notice is that the equation has 2 lots of x in it. When we're doing these more difficult rearranging, it will always involve factorising. To factor out the letter you want to make the subject. How we get to that stage? We first multiply x plus 2 because then that gets the x plus 2 on the opposite side of the equals. Always use brackets when it comes to algebra. So 2 minus 3x, because we've now cancelled out that denominator of the x plus 2. Next, we expand xy plus 2y. Just note, if you wrote yx, that is still the same. Now next, the aim is to get anything with an x on the same side of the equals, anything that doesn't have an x on the other side. So let's begin by adding 3x to both sides of the equation. That's xy plus 2y plus 3x equals 2. Now this 2y, it doesn't have an x in, so we're going to subtract it, which cancels it out from the left-hand side and moves it over to the right-hand side, leaving us with xy plus 3x equals 2 minus 2y. Now this next step is where our factorising comes into it, because both of our xy and 3x on the left have an x in common, so we take that out as a common factor. And we do this so that now we've got our bracket of y plus 3. At the moment, that's multiplying x. We want to do the opposite to move that over to the other side, so we are going to divide both sides by y plus 3, leaving us with x equals 2 minus 2y over y plus 3.